Good morning, boys and girls. It's time for the Cap Guy show, starring the Cap Guy, and that would be me. Today, I promised a video on the alphabets, and I'm trying to set up my phone here so I don't have to hold it. On the alphabets of being successful at an eBay business, and I'm calling it the alphabet soup. And that means we're going to go through the alphabet and we're going to have a word for every letter in the alphabet. I hope I don't bore you, but I think when you do this business, whether you sell on Amazon, Poshmark, Etsy, or eBay, and for me, it's pretty much strictly eBay and Facebook Marketplace. To be successful, you need some keys, and I'm going to give you those letters and give you those keywords. So A is going to be for alphabet soup because that's my term. It takes all the letters of the alphabet to be successful. You use them every day in your words. So we'll get started with B. B is buy it now. I believe in buy it now myself because you want to grab the impulse buyers. Now, I do auctions too, but auctions because when they're free and I get them as a top seller. Mainly I do auctions when I'm out of listings on the fixed listings, or when I don't know the true meaning or value of the item, or I want it to go high because I think it may be valuable, but I'm just really not sure. So that would be that time. Otherwise, buy it now. I want the impulse buyer. You're shopping. I'm an impulse buyer. A lot of you are, and that's what you want to grab. C is cost of goods. You're trying to get your cost of goods as low as you can, buying old market stock, vintage items at yard sales, estate sales, maybe on the last day of the sale. Free things in your home that you can do. That's, you paid for it at one time, but now it's basically free to you because you've used it. Friends, things that you sell for them and maybe split the difference in the profits, etc. Things that are left on big trash day, things that have value that people throw out. Also, marketplace. There's a lot of people that put stuff out. Hey, I got a free this or that, dresser, makeup, or whatever, out on the porch. First one to pick it up gets it. All that can be used to resell. So cost of goods, keep it as low as possible. Diversity. Can't say enough about this. When I started this in 2004 part-time, I did nothing but sports-related stuff. I know a lot about jerseys. I know a lot about helmets and how to sell those, but I knew nothing about everything else. And so I basically went to thrift stores and yard sales looking for jerseys. And I do have a lot of them, and I've sold a lot of them. But unless they're vintage, there isn't a lot of value in some of them. I mean, $15, $20, unless they're sewn, and you may get a little bit more. You can buy new, $50, $60, and of course some go up to $100 or more, Michelin Ness and some of those. What you want to do is diversify your goods, sell a lot of different items, and the more that I am doing this, I'm getting into the hard goods, because the hard goods are easy to picture, easy to ship, if they're not real heavy, and they have great profit margins. Clothes don't have as good of profit margins unless, again, they're vintage or they're high brand, name brand. E is effort. You got to get up and get out there. As Matt's Part-Time Pickers song, be the first, not the last. You don't have to be first, but you need to be close. And you need to get there, because there's a lot of people out there doing this now. They realize they're making money at it, and they're doing it. So you want to get up. And for me, of course, I'm retired, and I have the day to do what I want. But I find myself, I woke up yesterday at 3 a.m. thinking about some things I had sold and the video that I was going to make today. And just some of the words started coming to me, and I couldn't go back to bed. Now, I went to bed early last night because I was tired after a day of yard selling and stuff. So effort, what you put into it's what you're going to get out of it. And it is hard work, but I promise you you can be successful at it. F is find resources. Not just in the items that you find, but the people that you meet. There's lots of resources out there where you can buy bulk items, where they're selling something. When I go to the bins and I saw people scanning their phones the first time in the books area, what are you doing? Well, we're doing this and we're sending them FBA to Amazon. Oh, wow, is there a good profit in that? I mean, talk to people, learn the things that they're doing, and you can find different resources and items, and sometimes it's by mistake because you're doing your diligence in checking them out, and then sometimes just talking to other people. Oh, you sell shoes. Yeah, what does that do for you? I mean, the more you know, the more you'll be successful. The next one is G, grab the item. How many times have you been in the bins or at a yard sale and you're looking at something and maybe you're looking it up, or you're looking at something else but you hadn't picked up the item and somebody else grabs it? Grab the item, put it in front of you, at least if you're in a cart, put it in the cart so nobody else is going to grab it. Or if it's at a yard sale, hold it up, or if you got somebody with you, have them hold it while you're researching it, because you don't want them grabbing the item. It may be something valuable, because if you're looking it up, you probably think it has some value. H, home runs. That's a term that a lot of people use. It's when you buy something cheap and you sell it high. I've sold jerseys I paid $5 for $300. I've sold shoes I paid $100 for, sold for $450. I've sold PC games 49 cents to $50. We all have those stories, and those are what we call home runs. Find those home runs, because sometimes you don't know until you sell it that it's a home run, especially if it runs an auction and it just goes crazy. But home runs are what you want. You're not going to find them every day, but you can find them a lot if you really get diversified, and going back to that D word, and do it that way. I is ignite. If you are successful, it will ignite the flame in you, and you will be successful going out and wanting to find more and more and more. J, jeopardize. Don't jeopardize your business. Know what you can and can't sell. On Amazon, I know people are blocked from certain items for whatever reason. I don't know if anybody ever understands why they block them for different items when other people can sell those. Maybe it's because of the market growth and they don't want everybody saturating it. But on eBay, I've learned about things that, CPAP machines and things where other people are selling them and getting away with it, and I try to sell it and I get blocked from it because it requires a prescription. The supplies you're supposedly allowed to sell, but again, some people can try to sell them and they get blocked from them. So know what you can and can't sell. I've gotten in trouble once for a Coach purse that they said wasn't authentic. I still think it was, but it's their show, so you have to do what they say, and I took it off. But don't get banned even for a few days and jeopardize your sales on putting things on there that could get you banned temporarily. K is karma. Karma is huge for me. I believe in karma. I was at the bins a couple months ago, and I was talking to a lady, and we were just visiting, and all of a sudden she realized her purse was gone. And we had just moved from one spot to another, and I looked over, and luckily her purse was still there. So I told her about it and got her back her purse. I found wallets at places, gave them, found the owner for it. You do the right thing, and it's going to come back to you. I believe that in spades. Sometimes I have an item, and somebody else sees it, and they want it. And maybe you could make a little bit on it, but they really want it. I give it to them. It's all in how you treat each other. You got to be respectful, and I think karma comes back to you when you do the right thing. L is learn. You cannot learn enough, and that goes from not only doing your research online, watching YouTube videos of other pickers and resellers, learning how to go about the business, shipping and all the aspects of the eBay reselling that you can learn, the more successful you'll be, and you can drive your profits and your ROI, your return on investment, back to you. And that's the name of the game in this thing. M is miss out, and I'm going to do a play on that word. I talked to Austin yesterday at the yard sale, and his wife had got that term, and I guess I don't know which one created it, but it's fear of missing out. And I definitely have that fear of missing out, because the days I talk to some of my viewers and friends and they say, I was at the bins and I found a bunch of ink, or I found a video game that is highly valuable, and I think, doggone it, I should have been down there. You're not going to find everything that's out there, but I do have the fear of missing out. And when you're doing this, the sourcing part is the fun part. Looking for treasures all day long is, I could do it every day. It's the rest of it that gets a little tedious, but it requires diligence to be able to be successful. And thanks again for that word. I love that FOMO word. The next one is negotiate. Do not be afraid at yard sales and estate sales and individuals when you're buying on marketplace, let's say. Negotiate with them. What will you do? What will you take? What's the bottom line? Make them be the one to tell you, versus you jumping out there. You may come in too high. And if it's too high, you either walk away or you renegotiate. And that's an R word, but I'm not going to use that one. So negotiate. O is offers. Again, I believe 100% in this. On eBay, they've got a new thing where they pop up all the time on my main feed. But I've always been a big one on sending offers out. I'll just scroll through it that way. I'm watching TV. I'm done with my business. And I scroll through and I send offers out. Again, I talk about it in all my videos. $1 to $5, maybe 10%. So if you send out 100, you might have 10 offers that are successful. But that's 10 sales you didn't have. And if you've got the profit in the item, to lose a buck or two ain't going to hurt you. If it's a high dollar item and it's, $100 and you take $5 off and you get them to bite and you paid $10 for it, you still made a lot of money. Don't be greedy. Grab that offer and make the sale, because you want to move your inventory. You don't want to have a lot of inventory. P is pictures. And I guess eBay's got a new thing where they do the white out. Everybody wants the white background. And I know some of the pickers that I watch have excellent picture taking with lighting, and I'm still working on that, but my pictures have always done me pretty well. I am going to improve on it, and I've tried the background thing, and sometimes it cuts out part of the picture of the item, so I'm going to play with that, but I am going to improve my picture taking. That is key, because you want to have the tags and all that, and the measurements too. You want the measurements in there if it's clothing. I get a lot of questions. Hey, what's the armpit to armpit? What's it to? Okay, I got to make sure it's in every listing. And when you get going and you get speedy and you're trying to list 40 items, sometimes you pass one. So that's the one I get the question on, though. So make sure you take pictures, good quality pictures. Q is quality items. Quality is key. Finding things that don't have holes, stains. And if they do have stains, make sure they're stains you can get out. Baking soda and vinegar, OxyClean. I use a lot of different tools to try to get stains out of things. And I'd say 80% of the time I'm successful in getting them out. A few things I grab, I've learned a ball cap that's white and got a bunch of stains. You're not going to get all the sweat stains out, but depends on the cap and how vintage it is, and some of them are still very valuable. I've sold caps with the foam coming out of them because they were vintage K Products ball caps, and still sold it for $50 because, again, like everything, something in that, the reason they're buying it is a memory or a company they worked for, something that there's a reason they want it. They're going to pay high dollar for it, especially if it's something off like a cap. The next one is research. Do your research. Again, I talked about it a little bit in another part of this alphabet soup already. Research the items, look them up, find out. Don't look at the listed item, look at the sold item. What did it sell for? What are they selling for? How many are out there? If there's only one, I sold a Nick Collison Oklahoma City Thunder jersey yesterday for $29. It wasn't screen printed. Typically that's going to go for maybe $15 if it was a Westbrook or Durant or something. But Nick Collison is loved here, and his jersey became valuable because it was the only one on eBay. There were other items of his on there, but there was no other Thunder jerseys. And he's retired now, but I got $29 for that jersey because of that one thing. It was the only one on there. I've got another one on there right now, a t-shirt that I found, single stitch, Bugs Henderson, and he's an Austin, kind of Stevie Ray Vaughan type music, passed away in 2012. I've got it on there for a pretty penny because it's single stitch, it's vintage, and it's the only one on there. So those are the things that you want to do. You want to research them. You want to know what you got. You want to have the quality, and you'll be successful. S, speed. Again, I've heard people talk about shipping every other day, every 3 days. Don't do that. Ship it every day. Get it to the post office. The number one thing I get on my feedback is speed. Man, that was fast. Man, you're faster than Amazon. You ship quick. Go to the post office every day with your packages. I don't care if you got 5, 6, 2. If I got one package, if it won't fit in a mailbox locally, I take it to the post office. And my post office is probably 5, 6 miles from me. Go there and get your stuff in the mail quickly. Even on Sunday, I'll have my stuff ready to go. Monday morning, it's in the post box. If I'm going out near that post office and I can get them in the mail slots, I'm taking them with me on Sunday and getting rid of them. And it's good business to ship quick. You're competing with Amazon and other eBay resellers, and I promise you, you'll have repeat business if you get that stuff to them quicker. That's the name of the game. Everything's just in time nowadays, and people want that speed. Talk. T is talk. Be open. Meet people. Not everybody's outgoing and wants to talk, but the more you talk, the more you learn, the more you build your network of people that are going to watch you. If you're doing a YouTube channel, the more the people are going to tell you where to go to get other things, places they go, because we don't all sell the same items. When I'm digging in the bins at Goodwill, I'm looking for stuff. Everybody's flying through there looking for money and jewelry and things, which they rarely find, but they do find it. I'm looking for other things they don't look for. I'm digging past the point of everybody rummaging through the stuff because they overlook things. They overlook a white paper case with a PS2 game in it because they're looking for the case and the game in it. And they don't think to look at all the other CDs that are laying in there. And that's how I found some very valuable stuff. They don't always know what they're looking for because they're looking to sell at flea markets or they're using it. So they're buying things that are for them. So don't be afraid to talk to people, and that's how you learn. That's how you learn. You is unique. Unique sells on eBay. If you find unique, yesterday I found these shoes, and I'm going to grab them because they're still here. These they're like Chucks, I guess, and I don't know if they're 90s. They're Delias, and they kind of come out as the comps I see are as 90s, but these look like the disco shoes from the 70s when I was a teenager that the kids wore. These are good shoes. I paid $3 for these, by the way, and I'll be selling them for a pretty penny. At least I'm going to try to. But unique is what sells. People want things that stand out from everybody else. Everybody wants to be their own individual, and there's nothing wrong with that. But when you find unique items, you buy them. V is value. Value for the item you're buying. Get the price you want. Don't be afraid to negotiate a little bit, but get the price that you want. Stick to it. If it's something you feel strongly about and you know it's got the value, then list it and sell it for that price. The same thing when you're buying it. You want to get value out of your money and buy in bulk, but buy it at the right price. W is wanderer. Don't be a wanderer when you go out. Let's say you're yard selling. Don't be a wanderer. Have a plan. I used to just drive until I saw signs, and you backtrack and you miss things. Now they have the yard sale app. You got Craigslist. You got the newspaper. There's lots of ways. Facebook Marketplace is another one. Word of mouth when you're talking to people. Hey, I'm having a yard sale in 2 weeks. Hey, what? Okay, shoot me a note. Don't be a wanderer. Have a plan. Map it out. Know where you're going. Look at the pictures on some of the estate sale sites. Kind of get an idea. If it's all furniture and that's not what you're into, then you can skip that one. But plot out a plan. And if you need to backtrack, go to the far end. And if you see, like the other day, I saw some video games. in a picture, and I wanted to go there first. So we were there when it opened, and I found $180 worth of games in just 6 games. And I bought a bunch more than that. But the bottom line is you want to have a plan. You don't want to just wander around. X, excel. And I know Excel starts with an E. But excel at what you do. If you do all the things that I'm talking about and more, I'm not an expert at everything, but you will excel at this. And the numbers speak for themselves. Of course, I currently have over 2,200 listings on eBay. That's a lot of inventory, but I make pretty good money at it. And like I said, I'm starting to diversify, get out of the clothing and get into the hard goods, because that seems to be where it's at. If you don't believe me, watch Part-Time Pickers. Old Matt there's got it going on. And some of the things I just laugh and shake my head at when he sells a vintage toothbrush or hairbrush or diapers for $30 for 10 Winnie the Pooh 2002 diapers. It just amazes me the things that he gets away with selling. But it's all legitimate, and it's all, in what the buyer wants. And people, again, they live into their memories. They want things that they can't have. They want discontinued items, vintage old stock. And now I'm looking for that stuff because it sells. Why is yard sales? I can't speak enough about yard sales. Get out there, make those yard sales, be early, because you are competing with other people now. I mean, just like Austin yesterday, at 7 o'clock in the morning, he's like, boy, you're out bright and early. Well, so are you. And it was probably 30 degrees out there, and it was a little chilly, but you got to get out there first and find that stuff, because the good stuff will usually go. And my last letter is Z. And I know nobody's going to think about what I'm going to say for Z, but it's going to be a play on a movie, and it's Zuzu's Petals. And anybody that knows the movie that I'm talking about knows what I'm talking about. Zuzu is a little girl in a movie with Jimmy Stewart and Donna Reed called, and a lot of people watch it at Christmas, It's a Wonderful Life. And if you haven't watched the movie, you're a young person, you never watched it, watch it. It's a great movie. It's black and white. I know a lot of young people don't like watching black and white movies, but there's a lot of classic movies in black and white, by the way. But at the end of the movie, it's a happy ending, and he has Zuzu's petals, and that's how he knows he's came back. So, a play on the movie, Zuzu's Petals, It's a Wonderful Life. And if you do a lot of the things that I've talked about today in this video, you too can have a wonderful life doing this. I'm not saying you can quit your job immediately, but when you retire, or if you become successful enough at it and you put enough effort in it, you can be successful, and you may be able to quit your job. Lonnie from Garage/Shed Flips has quit his job, and he does it full time, and he's successful at it. You can do it too if you do all the things that I've said. Again, I'm trying not to repeat myself, but it can be a wonderful life. And I appreciate everybody. Please like and subscribe. Please hit the notification button for me. If you like the video, make comments. And y'all have a great day. I will go over what I sold so far from yesterday to today, which is about 9 items so far. And but I'll do that tomorrow. I don't want to make the video too long. And y'all have a great day, and I hope you're successful too. Thank you.